The story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed.
Hello.
Only the names.
What is Israel Adesanya doing here? All who followed him know he's quite the unique and interesting character, typically in a world where you prove not just your prowess in the martial arts, but also one with subtle notes of affirming masculine dominance. You'd assume someone who not only enjoys but takes pride in and openly displays their love for anime would come off as childish. Say that to his face if you even can, because Israel the Last Stylebender Adesanya is clearly an otaku who loves anime. A man who recognized by educated OG Lawrence Kenshin as the best striking prospect in the UFC, Adesanya, he is consistently demonstrating a lethal prowess with all limbs. This man is straight up an anime nerd, and straight up, he is proud of it. You gonna call him out? I doubt it. This is what might turn a lot of people off, but for the most part, especially in our millennial era, already he is an individual who resonates with a lot of people with more than just his flashy style. Simply put, the guy is cool. That's what it means to be authentic. When you are yourself, you appear weird to the many. But also, a lot of people embrace you not just because you align with their likes, but also because you actually have the courage to express what you like with pride. That takes a lot of courage. There are plenty of normal people who do normal things who can't even do just that because the thought of possible criticism, it horrifies them. 100. The Stylebender is cool. He's authentic and versus a wrestler who many said he stood no chance first. Once again, he proved he is the real deal. Of course, now the same people who said Derek Brunson is his first real test will now say, but who was Brunson? And say he still has to prove himself, because in truth, it had little to do with Adesanya's success, but instead their own ego. Their opinion is not based upon the facts placed upon the table. This anime nerd is clearly a talent with a strong physical aptitude, but more so a very high IQ. They will not recognize the level of skill he's demonstrating, the drastic improvements he makes on the ground. They just know how they feel, they have a perception of how things should be, and him winning causes cognitive dissonance and they're just waiting for him to fall. They have that perception that strikers who join MMA will eventually get smashed by a wrestler, and to an extent, you have to acknowledge that wrestling is the strongest base discipline in mixed martial arts, but regardless of the success this man keeps having, they'll keep saying it until every human being on the planet with a wrestling background fights this guy. Then, by chance, if one catches him with a lucky punch somewhere down the road, I told you so. It's not the style the fighter uses, it's how the fighter uses the style. For a style is but a tool. And with Adesanya, a man who carries himself like an eternal student, it's no wonder he's already garnered such a large audience. Both inside the arena and out, he skillfully, honestly expresses himself. Authentic expression, that is what this is. He's a huge fan of Naruto, thus here, without caring what anyone else thinks, he's just sharing what he loves in a world he loves. A Naruto summoning Jutsu, he's summoning the strength to beat his opponent. But digging deeper with authentic expression, naturally comes flow. Flow is integral to Adesanya's style, similarly to another high-level kickboxer, Stephen Thompson.
It was also surreal, and it happened so fast. Everything just kind of rushes together, you know? Because you really don't remember what goes on, what happens. Because when you're out there fighting, you're relying on your reaction. So there is no thinking out there. If you're thinking, it's too slow. So that's why I never remember exactly what I do when I'm out there.
Don't think if you think you are too slow. This is why Adesanya is able to execute his arsenal with such a high dynamic strike IQ. Why he said every time Derek Brunson shot in, he looked slow. He could see every shoot coming in. When you're in flow, you experience time dilation, which is why Derek Brunson looks slow, the Matrix bullet time effect. Feeling in the zone or on fire, laser focus, which is part of the reason why he was crowned Laser Guided Strikes King. Insane alertness, explaining his insane reaction to tougher shoots and striking openings. Everything happens effortlessly, which is why it looked too easy for him. Flow may have glints of anxiety, but the overtone is a feeling of confidence. Near perfect decision making, it's almost as if you are a puppet being orchestrated by the moment. You don't really know what's happening, which is testified by most athletes performing at the highest levels. Most of them, they have no idea what is happening. It just happens by itself, based upon their training, based upon their drills, which is something you may experience in your line of work as well. This also coincides with the reported decrease in sense of self, and in other cases, even out-of-body experiences. This is a byproduct of drilling a technique and its philosophy so many times that it's become second nature, autonomous, expressed to the moment when the moment presents itself. Thinking too much interferes with this process. It interferes with what you have drilled. Overall, thinking too much can complicate even the simplest tasks. This is how Adesanya's summoning Jutsu and his style are one and the same. They express the confidence he has in himself regardless of what anyone else thinks. With it, he is able to flow with his skills, thus has a reaction time advantage over his opponents. Let's now take a closer glance at the last bout that crowned him Laser Guided Strikes King. So Adesanya is the one who first establishes pressure. Brunson is backing up, wary of his striking. Adesanya opens up with a pendulum low kick. The way he transitions into it is so smooth, and of course, the first thing Brunson does is go for a takedown. But Adesanya is quick to get his hooks in, controls the head, tries to put Brunson off of him, but of course, there is a notable difference in strength from Brunson, forcing Adesanya against the cage. This is intelligent, but Adesanya is more of a volume striker. He touches you with clean technique and surgical precision over and over again. I don't know how he'd do for a 5-round bout, but I do not believe he would gas in a 3-round bout. They break free because for some reason Brunson keeps grabbing at the shorts. This is Adesanya's beautiful question mark kick. Adesanya was inspired to take Muay Thai due to the popular movie On Back, but he also studied Taekwondo when he was a child. This method of chambering before transitioning into a roundhouse is signature to Taekwondo, which is perhaps why he uses it so often. It's natural for him, and interestingly enough, you can see a harmony between the two styles in this one kick. He chambers then transitions like a Taekwondo roundhouse, but he looks to land with his shin like Muay Thai. You know by the way his feet are pointed that he was not looking to land with the instep. This was beautiful. Adesanya's flashy kickboxing has developed his balance, thus paired with his flexibility. When Brunson has the single leg, notice how he tries to take Adesanya to the canvas with him. Instead though, he tumbles there alone. He couldn't tip Adesanya off balance in order to move him with his weight. I don't know exactly what's happening here, but Adesanya made it hard for Brunson to retain his grip when he was trying to stand with the clasped leg. Israel Adesanya squirmed up before then. The reaction of his sprawls and his understanding of what he has to do in order to keep the fight standing, it just keeps getting better and better, and at one point, he gets such a good feel that up against the cage, a perfectly timed knee comes in place of a sprawl. He understood what Brunson wanted the moment he started moving. This is how fast his reaction time is. Thus, like a laser-seeking missile, he uses Brunson's own momentum against his chin. From here, Brunson is concussed. Adesanya, he really starts to open up, and flow takes over completely. Look at how fast he makes adjustments. The moment Brunson shells out from his hands, in comes a Thai clinch knee, exploiting the defense's head position. Here, notice how the chamber fools Brunson into guarding low. He went to brace for a body shot. As the chamber transitions into a roundhouse, Brunson moved into the kick. Flush. There was no guard. As Shin, simultaneously working his gauge, in comes a looping hook against chin. It was like a combo from Mortal Kombat. Boom, he shifts stances as follow through for his flicker jab, increasing its power. From here, the match just ends. Israel Adesanya is clearly a striking genius. You got to be careful of anyone who's been buffed after a Naruto summoning jutsu. The dude is dangerous. When you pair that with his confident ability to speak, his authentic natural expression of self, I can clearly see this man being a star in the UFC. That leads us to our final question. How will he do versus wrestlers though? From what we can tell, he's been doing amazing thus far. Now against the rest of the roster, let us let time tell us the story, for in our uncertainty, against the echelon of grapplers forefront, we will find excitement. For isn't that why we find such unorthodox, flashy, flamboyant styles exciting in the first place? Let's be grateful to those who doubt, just as much as those who believe. For the both are what help fuel our excitement. Mind Smash has an Instagram. If you'd like to show me some love, please follow it. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. It's good karma. And until next time, peace.
Mind Smash did a great video on that. You gotta watch it. Check out that video on Mind Smash.